That's your boy Brandon Scott again. The Washington Wizards get blown out again, 114-90 in Cleveland, behind 24 points by Mitchell. So we're gonna look at how did the Wizards lose this game. I think we all know, and then we're gonna look at who's really gonna get traded and who do we see as staying on the roster to at least the offseason. So we're gonna look at that, and then at the end we're gonna chop it up like we always do. Next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott again. My guy, the Red Oliver, he got the night off, man. The game was so hard to watch. I told my man to go ahead and just take that night off. But the Washington Wizards get blown out again like a candle, 114-90, losing the second game of a 2-game series in Cleveland. So we're gonna look at how did they lose, look at the stat line, and go from there. And then we're gonna look at with the trade season getting warmed up and with the first domino falling with the OG Anunoby trade, which Wizards are going to get traded, which ones are going to stay till at least the offseason, and which ones are permanent fits in DC. And then, of course, at the end, we're going to chop it up like we always do. So let's get right into it. The Washington Wizards dropped the second game of a 2-game series in Cleveland, 114-90, led by 24 points by 26, by Donovan Mitchell. So how did they lose this game? Man, easy. I mean, I say it all the time, y'all. Different game, same script, same issues, same result, right? Looking at it, rebounding was again an issue. We got out-rebounded 58-38, so we got out-rebounded by 20 rebounds. Offensive rebounds, they got 12, which led to how many second chance points? 17. So, again, that is the MO. We are a really bad defensive team. We are a bad rebounding team, and often with our really lackluster rebounding efforts, it leads to a lot of offensive rebounds on the other team, which leads to second chance points. And again, I hate to say this, man, but different game, same script. And I said I'm gonna say it a lot more times this season. Again, they just clear talent gap. They just on the perimeter couldn't stop anybody. So let's get into the stat lines for the Washington Wizards. Now we'll start with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Obviously, 26 points by Donovan Mitchell. He kind of did this thing, but their starting five was a little underwhelming. Strus got 9, Okoro 8, Wade 6, and Allen got a double-double with 12 points, 12 rebounds. But their benches where the money was made in Cleveland. 11 points by Karis LeVert, 11 points by Merrill, and 14 points by Georges Niang. So it was a battle of the benches. And while our bench did look good, and I'm about to get into it, but their bench led the way for them because outside of Donovan Mitchell, very lackluster for their starting five. But getting back to our starting five, Lord have mercy. Tyus Jones did play well tonight. 16 points, 1 rebound, but 5 assists, 6 for 10 for the field, but 4 for 6 from 3. 2 steals. So Tyus Jones, again, boosting that trade value up, playing really good basketball. But the starting five, outside of Tyus Jones and Denny Avdia. I mean, Denny's 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 for 8 for the field. Only 0 for 1 from 3. Was not very aggressive on the three-point line, but defensively, I mean, 1 block, 2 steals. We know what he can do. Defensively, he showed out. But the rest of the starting five, very underwhelming. Jordan Poole, wow. Really bad night. 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. 4 personal fouls, 2 points. Jordan Poole looked really bad. And he continues to just look really bad in DC. Obviously, right now, we're going to talk about the trade deadline and who I think is going to get traded. But I'm going to tell you right now, Jordan Poole is definitely staying. He has no value right now. I mean, he has struggled since he's came to DC. He has shown glimpses, but he has just he's not been that complete package. Well, I'm not going to say complete package. He hasn't been that scorer that we know he can be coming over from Golden State. And it's been very underwhelming for Jordan Poole. So, again, looking at the rest of the roster, Kyle Kuzma, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. 4 for 14 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, 7 turnovers. Again, let me repeat, 7 turnovers. So very, very underwhelming night for Kyle Kuzma. And to round out the starting five, Daniel Gafford, 4 points, 4 rebounds, non-existent. Jared Allen did whatever he wanted. I mean, while Jared Allen's stat line isn't immaculate, 12 points, 12 rebounds, he clearly outplayed Daniel Gafford. And again, Daniel Gafford continues to struggle against centers who are either more athletic or are stronger, and he struggled tonight. So the starting five, outside of Tyus Jones and Deni Avdija, it was a letdown. It was a really bad night for the starting five. Now, getting to the bench looked good tonight. Considering the loss we had. I mean, Bilal Coulibaly, look, go ahead and give him a clap. 15.7 rebounds, 6 for 13 for the field, 3 blocks, 1 steal. Bilal Coulibaly continues to show why he is the future of this team. He is part of the foundation. He is a building block, not the building block, but he is definitely a hit when it comes to a draft picks. He continues to evolve offensively, and defensively, he's a dog. Corey Kispert, again, 20 minutes, but 13 points, shooting 6 for 12 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3, but he continued to cut and make really good drives to the lane. And then outside of those two on the bench, DeLon Wright came in 16 minutes. He's ramping his minutes up, 5 steals. We know what DeLon can do. DeLon is a defensive master, man. I mean, defensively, he is definitely on point, but he's starting to get his feet under him from coming back from injury. So definitely understand that. And then Amarui, look, I'm just saying, y'all, Amarui, 6 minutes, 18, or not 18, I wish it was 18, 8 points, 3 for 5 in the field. Amarui needs to get minutes after the deadline. I've seen enough. Amarui, he is a dog, and he plays hard, and I think that he definitely needs to get a look after the deadline when we start giving minutes to a lot of these younger guys. So I get it. It was a very underwhelming night. I mean, I thought that we were going to split at least one of the 2 games in Cleveland, but these 2 games in Cleveland just shows us, man, that there is so much of a talent gap between us and most of the Eastern Conference. It's not the NBA, and effort is always comes into question with this team. Defense is historically bad. Rebounding is historically bad. The lack of adjustments after the half is puzzling. It's just changes need to be made, and the deadline is the first step. Getting a lot of these veteran contracts off the books and getting a lot of these young guys minutes and exposure after the deadline. But in all season, changes will be needed, especially maybe at a head coaching position. Because that's a subject for another day. 50-50 on West. I definitely believe that there's things that he needs to improve on. Was he given the best situation here in DC? No, but I do think there needs to be changes made in DC because, again, this is a historically bad team on the defensive end and rebounding. We're bad. We're terrible. And when you throw in bad, lackluster effort, this is the type of scores you're going to see. I mean, it is what it is. And I get it, man. It's a rebuild, but the effort has got to be addressed, man, whether from the head coach or whoever. But the lackluster effort is it's starting to show, and it's starting to show to a lot of the fan base. So, again, the Wizards just outclassed tonight. 2 straight games in Cleveland getting blown out. There were glimpses from the young guys. Like I said, Bilal Coulibaly, Deni Avdija, as far as young guys, look good. Corey Kispert looked good, 20 minutes played. One thing to kind of look at, Bilal Coulibaly, 36 minutes played. So he led all Wizards scorers, or all Wizards as far as minutes played with 36 minutes, which is what you want to see with Bilal. You want to see extended minutes. You definitely want to see him eat and get those minutes. So I thought that was a good move as far as playing time for him. But again, another blowout. So we're going to go ahead and move on. Looking at the deadlines coming up, we're going to I'm going to roll with you guys with 3 tiers. And we're going to look at who could be on the move at the deadline, who could be a move in the offseason, and who's here to stay. So we're definitely going to look at that moving forward. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. At the start of the new year, every small business owner is asking themselves the same question. What's the one move I can make that'll take my business to the next level in 2024? LinkedIn Jobs knows that your success all depends on the team you surround yourself with. That's why LinkedIn Jobs has created the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just another job board, right? LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Woo! That's why small businesses rank LinkedIn Jobs number 1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn also knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats and might have to have the time or resources to hire. So thankfully, with LinkedIn, the process is intuitive, quick, and easy. So post your job for free at LinkedIn.com/LockedOnNBA. That's LinkedIn.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. And tonight's episode is also brought to you by BetterHelp. So Again, I am a big person when it comes to therapy or just having somebody to talk to. For somebody who has had a fair share of issues. Also serving in the Iraq War and dealing with the fallout of that. I've had a lot of experience with talking to people, right? So if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I'm telling you, it's that easy. So celebrate the progress you've already made just by asking for help from BetterHelp. So visit betterhelp.com/lockedonnba today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/lockedonnba. And for you military guys out there, hotel, I didn't forgot. ELP.com/lockedonnba. I try to go phonetic with the alphabet tonight. So Echo, my bad. Anyways, so getting into it. The trade down the deadline is coming up, y'all. So obviously, I'm gonna look at everything for 3 tiers tonight, right? One, definitely gonna get traded. 2, may get traded if the right deal comes along, or may get traded in the offseason. And 3, here for the long term. So obviously, the first domino did fall with OG Anunoby hitting to New York as part of the deal, sending Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett to the Toronto Raptors, including a second-round pick. And now it was rumored that Memphis offered 3 first-round picks for OG Anunoby, but ultimately the Knicks grabbed him. So he is the first domino to fall. A lot of names are being thrown out there. Pascal Siakam was mentioned and rumored to be headed towards Sacramento now. It looks like other teams are trying to make that move for him. So the rumor mill, the hot stove season is definitely hot right now. So looking at the Wizards, who do I see? And definitely, you guys let me know what you guys think, man. I mean, who do you guys see being moved at the deadline? Who do you see maybe lasting until the offseason? And who do you see as part of the foundation hitting into year one? I say hitting into year one because obviously this is a transitional year, and next year is officially the first official year of the rebuild. So who is here to stay? Definitely let me know. So looking at who is definitely on the move, Kyle Kuzma. He's already been mentioned that a lot of teams are interested in Kyle Kuzma. There's a lot of speculation on what the organization is saying they want 2 first-round picks. Now, I do think that's wishful thinking. I think it's going to be along the lines of 1 first-round pick, but he definitely is going to draw value. So I definitely see him on the move. Now, where is he best fit? Sacramento's been named, the Dallas Mavericks, the Indiana Pacers. Those are some teams to look at. I think there's a lot of teams that need a scorer to either start or could be a piece off the bench, depending on the makeup of the roster, for a playoff run. So I definitely think it's going to be a contender. And, looking at the Wizards, what is your return? Usually you're probably looking at a first-round pick and a young player or expiring contract. Or you're not going to get a first-round pick, a young player, and expiring contract with Kyle Kuzma because, I don't, look, I like Kuz. He's definitely our top scorer and probably the best player on the team. But can we kind of over-evaluate as far as his talent is to other teams? Yeah. I mean, 2 first-round picks, it ain't going to happen. Probably going to get a first-round pick and probably going to get a young player or a expiring deal. So it's because ultimately you're trying to get his contract out the books, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Kyle Kuzma, he's definitely on the move. I definitely see him being moved at the deadline. Same with Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones is definitely gone. I think there's a team that's going to need a guy who can come and play starting minutes, but who's really a backup point guard. But Tyus Jones has played well starting here in DC, and he can't come in and start. Now, is he a guy who's going to be a point guard in the future for any team? No, not the stage in his career, but he's definitely a guy who can spot start and definitely give you quality minutes with the second unit. So Tyus Jones fits. Limited teams right now. I mean, Houston, I think, is the number 1 fit in my opinion. Orlando's been named. In Orlando, what would the Wizards want in return? They got a lot of guards in Orlando, man. So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of return you get from Orlando. But I think the best fit for Tyus would be the Houston Rockets. I think that, looking at the roster, I'm a big Cam Whitmore fan. I mean, I know E laughs at me, man, because I mentioned Cam Whitmore. Now, I don't see them giving him up, but you definitely can get a return for Tyus Jones. Now, can you get a first-round pick? I think there's a 90% chance. No, you're not going to get a first-round pick for Tyus. But if you find the right deal, gauge the market at the right time, maybe. Those are 2 guys. I mean, you throw in Landry Shamet. I definitely think he's going to be a throw-in into a trade. Johnny Davis. I mean, could he be a thrown into a trade? Maybe. Being that other guy. Yeah, I hate to say that, no disrespect to Johnny Davis, man, but he does not look like he's part of the future here. So, he could be a throw-in. You could say that, okay, after the deadline, maybe they give him minutes after the deadline. But as far as confidence, man, which we all know is key with young players. Looking at Denny, he's a guy who's definitely driven by his confidence. His confidence is shot, man. There's been I believe there's been opportunities where he could have got minutes, and Wes Johnson Jr. has not given him minutes. So I think that maybe a change of scenery. So we've talked about a lot on this channel about a change of scenery could help Johnny Davis, send him somewhere where he can develop, because I don't think he's been probably developed here. Now obviously, when given minutes, you need to perform, and he's struggled with his shot. He's struggled with it, being aggressive. He's struggled on his offensive game, which defensively he's solid. So let's slide into the next tier. Who could potentially be traded, but who's probably going to be here in the deadline? I mean, or the offseason. Look, Jordan Poole right now has no value. I do see him eventually being moved because he's not part of the future in DC. The organization does not view him. Now, at first, he viewed himself as being the guy, but the Washington Wizards upper management does not feel the same. He's eventually going to be moved. Now, could he be moved in the offseason? But we'll see about the second half of the year, because I believe after the deadline, when they put the ball in his hands, he will be the point guard, and they're going to see what he can do. There's definitely going to be an audition for Jordan Poole to see what he can do after the deadline. But, if he boosts his value, we could see him being moved in the offseason, maybe in a year or two. He eventually will be moved. Now, it's not to say that if he takes that turn and he really locks in and puts up the performances that we know he can put up, could he change the narrative, and could he change the decision-making as far as the front office? Absolutely. But for right now, he is definitely looked at as a future trade asset. A player who could be moved if the right move is presented, but will probably be here through the offseason and beyond, Daniel Gafford. Daniel Gafford, we know what he can do. Help defender, paint defender, lob threat. We know what he can do. He's trying to find a way to spread the floor, but he doesn't. Very limited offensively. Can struggle with confidence, can struggle with fouls, can struggle, but he can be a really good rim protector and a lob threat. The Knicks were rumored to be looking at Daniel Gafford, obviously with Mitch Robinson being out. So could he be a move to New York? New York's trying to make moves right now. OG Anunoby, like I said, is the first domino to fall. So if they find the right move, I think that he could be moved. His contract is friendly, so he could stay. But obviously, going forward, man, depending on what we do in the offseason, and even at the deadline, if we acquire a center, to me and to a lot of people, not only in the organization but in the fan base, believe that he is a backup center. So whether he stays here in DC long term or he's moved, to me he is a backup center. But look, very similar build and capabilities as Mitchell Robinson. So could he fit into New York? Absolutely. And really, you can look at most people on the roster. DeLon Wright is kind of, I honestly see DeLon Wright staying. I don't see him being moved now. It's not to say he won't if they find the right deal, but I think he probably stays. I mean, I think that a lot of his value went down a little bit because of the injury. He has to kind of find his way back, find his legs, definitely get his minutes up. So, with the deadline coming up, will he be able to get there in time to be attractive in the trade market? We'll see. But I mean, if you look at the veterans on this team, I kind of mentioned the guys who I know are going to be traded, but everybody's tradable outside of Bilal Coulibaly. Now, I do see, and then kind of slide into the next tier, y'all, who's going to be here long term. I do see Denny Avdia here at least for the next 3 years. Now, it's not to say, again, if the right move is presented, if the right package is presented, it's not to say that he can't be moved. Now, look, Golden State, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, they are unhappy in Golden State. Could they fit in a rebuilding team? They're very, very young. Yes, they could. So Denny, they paid him. I do believe that for right now, he's part of the foundation going forward. Bilal Coulibaly and Denny Avdia are two pieces that are foundational pieces to build on from this draft going forward in the rebuild. Kispert, we'll see. Here's the thing is tricky about Kispert. Same thing with Johnny Davis. How much does this new front office really value Kispert? They see value in Denny because they sign him to that extension. With Kispert, I believe that every team needs a sharpshooter, right? We need a guy who's going to be able to shoot threes. And with his basketball IQ and his ability to cut to the basket, drive to the basket, I think that he could be a long-term piece for now. He could get a team-friendly extension because we need a shooter off the bench. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I don't view Corey Kispert as a starting material player. I think he can spot start, but I think he's going to be that scorer and shooter off the bench for the team. And I think that's fine. I think that he could be a piece moving forward. But, to me, and looking at other names, Mike Muscala, we'll see. He could be a throw-in. I think that Danilo Gallinari is a buyout candidate. But outside of that, I think that every veteran on his team, everybody on his team is a tradable asset. And outside of Bilal Coulibaly. Now, you can say that Denny can be kind of thrown into that list that, I don't see him being moved. I think that with the extension and with him still developing, I think that him and Bilal are two developing and foundational pieces going forward. We'll see how the front office really views Kispert, but that's kind of my list, y'all. The deadline's coming up. Obviously, me and my boy E, we're going to keep you guys in tune with all the moves, all the trades, all the rumors, definitely going to gear it up towards the deadline. So that is definitely comment below. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is going to be traded? Who do you think is long-term pieces? Definitely comment below and let me know what you think. So we're going to get into, excuse me, Lord, it's hot up in here. I'm getting into comments like we always do. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by Hungryroot. So, man, I know everybody's trying to eat healthier in 2024. It ain't easy, right? Because with grocery bills going up and sometimes with fast food and processed foods and foods that may not be healthy for you are more easily obtained and cheaper, you definitely are, should try to keep an eye on eating healthier in 2024, right? Because Hungryroot is the easiest way to get fresh, high quality food delivered to your door. They've got hungry or healthy groceries and simple recipes all in one place. Take a fun, short quiz, and Hungryroot will get to know you, your goals, and how you like to eat. They'll ask what flavors you like, which kitchen appliances you use, and more. And then they'll keep your needs and preferences top of mind and start building your cart with delicious recipes and all your grocery needs for the week, which is big. Hungryroot will recommend recipes and groceries based on your taste. Take their suggestions or choose anything you want. They've got fresh produce, high quality meat and seafood, pantry staples, healthy snacks and sweets, and much more. There's a great place to add. I'm telling you right now, they are something to definitely look at. Hungryroot goes beyond your weekly grocery haul with thousands of easy recipes that actually put your groceries to good use before they get forgotten in the back of your fridge. Daggone, I hate that. The best part is Hungryroot follows a simple standard. It's got to taste good, right? Be quick to make and contain whole, trusted ingredients. Spend less time meal planning, shopping, and cooking, and more time enjoying healthy food they actually love with Hungryroot. Right now, Hungryroot is offering Locked On NBA listeners and Locked On Wizards listeners 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life. Woo! Just go to hungryroot.com/lockedon to get 40% off your first delivery and get your free veggies. Free veggies. That's hungryroot.com/lockedon. Don't forget to use our link so they know we sent you. Hungryroot. And Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts at Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Go to Locked On Sports Today on YouTube and subscribe to the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel. So let's get into it, y'all. Hard night for everybody, but TGI, thank God Almighty, it's Friday. So let's get into some comments, man. We see a lot of comments. So try to keep it short, but we'll definitely chop it up with everybody, man. James Sheets kicks it off in style. Denny still whines too much, hasn't locked down anyone on defense in a while, all season, in my opinion, and can't score enough. Do you really think there is much more development that can be made? I'm going to say, yeah, man. He's got things he needs to work on. Look, Denny has his defense kind of went down, yes, but he's still a really good defender. Now, elite may be a stretch at this point. He has taken a step back, but I definitely think that obviously his left hand, being a lot more comfortable and aggressive with his left hand, his 3-point shot can be a lot better. Now he is, the hesitancy is not there anymore. He's definitely taking that shot. It looks better. It looks faster, but I do believe he can become more of a threat offensively and definitely try to get that dog back in him on the defensive end, man. But offensively, he still can be developed. I think that he can be a really good offensive player. Denny's not a scrub, man. Obviously, we get the turmoil as far as the fan base. I get it. And we all know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of passions as far as certain players on this team, but Denny can evolve, but they sound to an extension that you can argue that their extension is a very team friendly and tradable asset. But I think he can definitely be part of the foundation going forward on this team, man, because him and Bilal are a good defensive duo, in my opinion. Diablo said, free Jordan Poole. He needs to free himself. Lord have mercy. Diablo also said, fire Weston Sell. I think that they're definitely going to look at and evaluate the head coaching position at the end of the year, man. You have to. The defense has not improved, and I think he's a really good assistant coach, but as far as head coach, there's a lot that remains to be seen. So, my man, Onion 77, what's up, man? How you feeling tonight? B, this effort is pathetic, bro. They become unwatchable. Amen, brother. And Jordan Poole can't have GMs like this making I mean, look, that's what I'm saying, man. His value is very low right now. It behooves us and it behooves him to boost that value. He's starting to lock in more. You're starting to see less and less of these really mind-numbing plays, but he's got ways to go to be that same player he was in Golden State, man. I mean, yeah, I get it's a complete different situation than it is in Golden State, even though Golden State is kind of, really, I don't know. I don't think this current core in Golden State is going to go anywhere. I think that you're going to see the end of this era in Golden State, but still, he's got ways to go before he has any kind of value as far as being tradable. But I agree, man, that the effort is just not there anymore. I think a lot of people are checked out. I think there's a lot of these vets are ready for the deadline to get here. And I think a lot of the young guys are waiting for the deadline to get here so they can get more minutes and really get more playing time and see what they can do as far as showcase themselves for this organization. Stuart O'Flaherty said, you think that after a guy hits a 3 or 4 threes that maybe you should pay attention and play some damn defense. Hey, look, man, you preach to the choir, brother. I mean, on the perimeter, we're terrible. Now, defensively, we're bad in every aspect. We're bad in transition. We're bad on the perimeter. We're bad in the interior. I mean, our rotations on defense are terrible. I mean, they take their time getting down the court. I mean, closing out the shooters is slow. I mean, defensively, this is a really hard to watch team. So I totally agree, man. No adjustments are made. And that's why I'm kind of going back to head coach, man. You got to make adjustments. That is the name of the game, man. You got to make adjustments in game. You cannot roll with the same game plan, same strategy, and same lineup, and then say, go, win the game. You have to make adjustments, man. And we're not seeing that. Stuart O'Flaherty also said, Muscala at center, what's the point? It is no point. It's just the center position is hurting right now between Gaff and Muscala. Let's see, Sniper Express, man. Okay. Poole came in with the ultimate green light, and now it's like the team is daring him to even think about shooting it. I mean, I don't know if it's confidence, but I know that he's taking a lot of hits from the media and the fan base and the NBA fan bases, period. There's been a lot of buzz around him coming from Golden State. I think that if he locks in and he rolls with what he is, a scoring guard, we know that he's not a defender. Put him in a position where he can be that scoring guard. If we put him in the right position, I think he'll be all right, man. But we'll see. After the deadline, we're really going to see what he can do because a lot more responsibility is going to be put on his shoulders. Because I do think they're going to put him at point guard and they're going to say, here, we'll see what you can do. And he's definitely going to be a showcase for Jordan Poole after the deadline, running his first unit with these young guys, man, because I'm very intrigued to see Bilal Coulibaly at the 2 guard, Denny. And, if Kuz gets moved, who's at the 4? There's a lot of possibilities with this team. But I feel you, man. He definitely came into DC with the greenest of green lights, man. But right now, he's just I think confidence is having a part of it. He's struggled, and he's become non-existent on the court. So it's going to be interesting, man. Amo says 7 turnovers, shaking my head, man. Yeah, I know. I mean, Kuzma looked bad tonight. He looked real bad. My man, DC Hoopla, what's good, brother? I am ready to take a good portion of the team to the airport. In-season moves have to be happening. I'm with you, man. Look, you let me know. We'll buy them something to eat. We'll put them on a plane in Dallas, and we will thank them for their service. Because, I mean, look, man, a lot of these vets got to go. And that's what I'm saying. The rebuild starts at the deadline. Right now is a transition. But the true rebuild of the Washington Wizards starts at the trade deadline. And I truly believe that. So appreciate the comment, my brother. Onion77 again says, B, the bench ain't playing versus nobody. That's why they look good. I mean, yeah, I see that. I like that perspective. But Bilal, man, he obviously has things to work on. His dribbling is one thing he has to work on. He's got to learn how to create for himself. Definitely, his dribbling has some work. The shot, I like his shot. His release is faster. But his offense is gonna come along. He's young, man. He's young. He's still growing. He's still figuring out the speed of the NBA game. Looking at France, man, he only played, I believe, 1 year as far as with the big team. I hate to say the big boy team, man, but I mean it's like a teen team and an adult team is just, France is different over there. But what I'm saying is like he has very limited playing time as far as even in France over here. It's going to take time for him to kind of acclimate to the speed of the NBA. Where look, a lot of these foreign leagues are starting to step it up, man. They're a lot more competitive these days. It ain't like it used to be, but the NBA game is still the standard, and it's going to take him a while to really acclimate. He's going to be all right. I have all that confidence in the world in Bilal, man. He's going to be all right, man. The truth Gafford getting embarrassed consistently. Yeah, man. I like Gaff. I adopted Gaff as my guy, man. But he's not a starter, and he has struggled. And what is his future in DC? I do definitely think he's a backup, man, but he has struggled. Definitely against centers who are stronger, more athletic. Jared Allen is a hard guard, man. He's a hard person to guard. He's so we'll see, man. I mean, Gaff was getting smoked by his fro, so we'll see. Let's see a couple more comments, man. It's Friday night, so I'm starting. I want to get to drinking, man. So I know you guys want to get your Friday night started. So we're gonna do about 3 more comments and call it a night. So, let's see. DMV Flight says, minus Bilal, everyone sucks. Looks like no one wants to be here. I wouldn't say minus Bilal, man. Denny, I think, is an asset going forward in his rebuild. I think Kispert can be. But outside of those, I'm with you. Gafford, I think he has a team-friendly deal where he could be that backup center, especially if we go and get center in the draft, looking at Alex Sarr. Depending on where we fall in the draft, can he be that backup of the future? Yeah, absolutely. It's center position. Absolutely. But we'll see. His deal is, his contract is good enough to flip and not take a lot of assets in return to flip him, man. So I am with you on that. Amo said again, it's a tanking year. Hopefully we make moves by the deadline. Oh, we definitely making moves at the deadline. Moves will be made. So let's see. Couple more comments. Sheldon T, what's up tonight, man? How you doing? Didn't get to see the game. Didn't miss much, man. 2 points. Did Poole get hurt or something? No, he just was non-existent. He might as well have stayed in the locker room, bro. He's just, like I said, it's a confidence thing. I don't know what's going on, but we've got to get him locked in. And we got a lot of comments tonight, guys. Going forward, man, definitely next week we're gonna do a lot more mailbags. So I'm gonna definitely post up on the YouTube side and on Twitter, aka X. And definitely going to do a lot more mailbag, answer a lot of questions. Chop it up with you guys going towards the deadlines because I see a lot of good comments tonight, man. And I'm pretty sure you guys rock with me tonight, man. We got 36 people in here. Definitely appreciate you guys taking time tonight to hang out with your boy tonight, man. So let's see. I'm going to do a couple more comments, man. Let's see. Onion 77. I'm not going to read everything. Everything about our franchise is corny as, yeah. Yeah, man. We got a long ways to go, but I think we will get there. The front office overhaul was the first step, and we have 3 guys in our front office who legitimately can be GMs of their own team. So we have a front office who are going to make moves. They're going to continue to make moves. So there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. But it's hard, bro. I get it. It's hard to watch right now, but it's going to take time, man. Let's see, a couple more comments. A lot of good comments, man. Appreciate you guys tonight, man. What we got here? We're gonna do one more. Man, a lot of good comments. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and call it, man. We got too many good comments, man, to really respond. So we're gonna go ahead and call the night, man. Friday night. Definitely appreciate you guys, man. I hope everybody have a blessed and safe weekend. Wherever you get your podcast, definitely a 5-star review would be much appreciated, everybody. And on the YouTube side, hit that notification button to let you guys know when these dope videos coming out, man, because we definitely going to chop it with you guys going to the deadline. And then we're going to do recaps. It's going to be hard, but definitely appreciate you guys rocking with us, man. Again, appreciate you guys. Definitely consider, if you're not a member of Locked On Wizards, man, definitely consider, man. Like I said, we have fun on here, man. Me and my guy, the real Ed Oliver, we have fun on here, man. It's a rebuild year, man, but we like to chop it up with you guys, man. And so definitely appreciate you guys, man. So I'm looking forward real quick. The second game of a back-to-back tomorrow night. The Wizards will be back in the 202 playing the New York Knicks. So definitely tune in for that. It is a 7:00 game. So I will be doing, or me and my guy, the real Ed Oliver, my guy, we will be doing a recap tomorrow for the Knicks game. And so definitely tune in for that, man. And we're going to chop it up like we always do. And Monday against the OKC Thunder, I will be there covering the team at Capital One, man. So if you're going to the game, definitely let me know on Twitter. And man, I like to come out and chop it up with you, man, and maybe get some to eat with y'all, man. But definitely appreciate you guys. So we're gonna call it a night, man. I got some cognac looking at me right now, so definitely appreciate you guys. So everybody had a blessed weekend, and we be safe, and we will see you guys tomorrow night. Hail to the Wizards, and peace, everybody. Have a good night.